Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. We are at page 13 of the affidavit. In our last episode, we learned that certain warrants were issued to obtain historical data from phones and from cellular towers. We learned that such a warrant was issued to AT&T for the 8458 phone, and that this warrant returned information that this phone was issued to Brian Kohberger in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania on June 23rd, 2022. These records, pursuant to page 13, also included historical cell site location information, or CSLI, for the 8458 phone. And that thereafter, Detective Payne consulted with an FBI special agent certified as a member of the Cellular Analysis Survey Team, or CAST, C-A-S-T. He writes that members of CAST are certified with the FBI to provide expert testimony in the field of historical CSLI and are required to pass extensive training. He provides no specific information on what this training is or when they might have provided expert testimony in other cases, but he states that this includes both written and practical examinations prior to being certified with CAST, as well as the completion of yearly certification requirements. He then writes that the specific FBI CAST special agent that he consulted with has over 15 years of federal law enforcement experience, which includes 6 years with the FBI, and that from information provided from CAST, he was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from November 12th, 2022 to November 13th, 2022, and that this was the time period that was authorized by the court for this search warrant. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 2:42 a.m., Detective Payne writes, the 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources that provided coverage to 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment G201 in Pullman, here and after the Kohberger residence, and that at approximately 2:47 a.m., or 5 minutes later, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provided coverage southeast of the Kohberger residence, and he says this is consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the Kohberger residence and traveling south through Pullman. He also writes that this is consistent with the movement of the white Elantra. He then states that from approximately 2:47 a.m. through 4:48 a.m., that the 8458 phone stops reporting to the network. And he claims here this is consistent with either the phone being in an area without cellular coverage, the connections to the network being disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode, or that the phone is turned off. Again, he speculates here. This is not based on evidence. This is Mr. Payne giving his personal opinions. He continues to write that the 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to the Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow near Blaine. Between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources, Detective Payne writes, that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling south on Idaho State Highway 95 to Genesee, Idaho. This will now conclude our analysis and discussion of page 13. I would, however, like to point out that just as Detective Payne completely redacted the name of the medical examiner earlier in the affidavit, he also provides no information of the FBI CAST agent that worked on this file. That name is also redacted and is unknown at this time. This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us at the Indie Zone. Join us again where we will begin with evaluating page 14.